All right, folks, I am back in town and back making content. Had a really good trip, got to spend some time with the wife and have a little bit of fun, but I'm happy to be home, got a lot to do. A lot of crazy stuff's been happening in the DeFi world, so I'm gonna try to give some quick updates on some of those and some updates on the protocols. If you find me squinting during this video, it's because I just gave myself a concussion. I don't know if you can see these back here, these little pieces of artwork right here. Those are actually acoustic soundboards, and so they're meant to just absorb the sound or whatever, so the sound sounds better through the mic. And so I've got 4 of them up on the wall behind me as just some art that also has a function. But a few minutes ago, I rolled my chair back and I hit one of them, and it tipped and fell and just completely smacked the back of my head. So it's swelling up pretty good, and so yeah, if you find me squinting or my eyes go crossed or whatever, that's why. Anyhow, let's get straight into the DeFi protocols that we're in. Some of them, of course, are a little bit CeFi. I always get someone in the comments trying to explain to me that, you know, one is DeFi, one is CeFi. I know that. Some parts of some protocols are centralized. Some of them are totally immutable. It's just the way it is. We kind of refer to it as DeFi. But if you want to be technical, they're both. So first up, let's talk about this one, EFT Pool. I got into this one about a week and a half ago and did a review on it, just an honest review. And to be frank, I was probably a little bit harsh on the protocol. We were just coming off the heels of the back-to-back Delta Ventures and Green Figures rug, essentially. Seems like Delta Ventures was an elaborate rug, and Green Figures, whether it was a rug or Mo just lost all the money, the capital was gone and I lost a lot. I know you guys lost a lot. So those obviously stung. I put that behind me now, but I did this video right after that happened. I was just kind of frustrated with trading protocols. So again, I might have been a little bit harsh. But while I was away, I did talk to a couple community members who said that they vetted the trades and they feel pretty confident that the trades are real. And of course, the protocol is running really well for me. So as I said in my video, right now I've got my stuff all in this compounding pool, the auto compounding pool. I stuck my money in there and it's giving me weekly dividends. I am considering putting a little bit more in there. If I do, it won't be anything too crazy, maybe like another 500 just to round out to an even grand. And from there, I'll just set up a solid claim strategy and see where this thing goes. But like I said on the initial video, this is one where you just send the money into the address. They're trading it and paying you back. So there is, of course, the element of third-party risk. It's not an immutable contract. So make sure you're using risk capital if you get into this one, or frankly any DeFi protocol, because all this stuff is higher risk than investments you would make in the traditional markets. And the trade-off is you make a lot more. So far everything is running smoothly. I have asked for some additional clarification because there's a handful of people that even are in my group chat or that have asked me in the DMs if there's any clear picture of the trades that are going on, because what we're getting is a report. If we go to the main website, let me see if I can find it. Scroll down to the bottom, you will see the trade audit. And then you can come down to the week, the current week, and you can look at all the different trades and everything they made. So details are here. It looks like they traded Tesla, the BTC USDT pair, and SPY. And all I've really been asking for is there some additional clarification of seeing these trades in real time. So we'll see if I can get some more information like that and see if we can get more clarification on those trades. So far so good in EFT Pool. I will do another video on this later once I get a little bit more information. I will say that if you are interested in this protocol, they've got those weekly Zoom calls, and they've done those every single week from the start. It has been running for like over 4 months now. So there could really be some potential upside here. So far EFT Pool has been good. Next up is a protocol I got into right before I left, and that is Alpha 365. So I made this video last week before I left and then launched it on the day of the actual launch. And for the most part, the rollout and launch date went really well. I believe they had one little hiccup with like team airdrops or something like that, but it sounds like that got resolved right after that. Since I was away from the chats, I didn't really even catch the drama until it was all fixed. But again, something really minimal. They've got more than 60,000 alpha in the vault balance, and I want to say, here it is, alpha is a little bit over $5 USDC. So to be honest, that's a really good launch. Going over to my vault, you can see the one that I have active. Like I said in the original video that I did, you can have up to 10. So inactive, I've got 9 more sitting over here if I want to use them. Like I said, I was going to dump everything into this one, and then maybe I'll start another one up later. But this one's going well. I've just been getting in and compounding. This little battery is going to work its way up, and then it's not going to let me compound anymore. I'm going to have to claim. So I'm going to get a strategy. I'm probably going to do a couple more compounds before I start to claim though. So far, Alpha 365 is going smoothly. This is another one with external revenue sources. And again, if you're going to get into any of this stuff, make sure you're using risk capital. Before I move on to the next one, I did remember, I want to talk quickly about Furio. So they killed the FureFi project as well as the FureBots. I don't remember exactly what I paid for those, but I definitely got the full refund for my FearFi, and then I got at least a partial refund for the FearBot. I think I got $275 back or something. I don't remember what I originally paid for them. I want to say they were like a couple $100 a piece. So frankly, that was a welcome refund because I thought that was gone. If you're in Furio and you made a deposit like in the pre-sale for FearFi, or you bought one or two of those FearBots, go to the website, go to those tabs, claim them, and you can get your refund. Just didn't want to forget that before I moved on. Real quick, Elephant, I am doing an AMA on Thursday with SK Crypto K, so look forward to that. That's going to be a good one. He's going to explain as much as he can about the system. There are parts of it that are a little bit complicated, so we may stick to like the main piece. But this one has been performing extremely well for me. The chart is awesome, and I personally think this one's going to 10x. If you want to get in the Elephant token, it's really just a buy and hold scenario. You buy and hold it in your wallet, so it's really easy to get into. But I've been super happy with that. The drinks protocol from Speakeasy, still treating me really nicely. Today was actually my claim day, so I was able to claim that, get a few more funds. I've actually ROI'd in this one, so this was another winner. And if you got in this on launch day, you're probably pretty close as well. Next up, and I'm sorry guys, we're just hitting these rapid fire. Pulse Strip working really well. Price has been hanging in there really strong, just right around 15. It's been fluctuating between 14 and 16 back and forth. So it's really nice to see some consistency here, because the pre-sale price and when this first dropped, the token price was much lower, and it rallied up and now it's settled into this 15 range, which is pretty promising. I had like another $50 in Pulse, so I swapped that over and threw some extra in here. I'm gonna keep DCAing probably just into this bigger faucet so I can keep working this one. But again, this one has like those individual vaults or those individual faucets that you can use. Right now I'm just straight up in compound mode. Eventually I will move over and start a claim strategy. I wish I would have done that sooner with Drip, but I didn't. But I just want to get this one past a certain threshold to where I feel comfortable about claiming like twice a week. Probably just gonna rock a 5 and 2, keep it simple. Next up is one I haven't talked about yet or made a video on, but I got in last week. A couple of the guys in the chat got me excited and gave me a little bit of FOMO and made me get in. And I want to say that was Kirk from Speakeasy and Kefka. So shout out to those guys for forcing me to get in, because it's one I wanted to get in early on and it just kept slipping my mind. So this one's really good. More of a traditional farm. This is not an ROI DApp. There's a couple different things you could do. Obviously this one is on PulseChain, and I believe this was built by AJ from EMP Money. AJ's an absolute stud. If you guys have followed him or any of his work, you know, super trustworthy guy, super awesome, really one of the good faces in the space. So that made me want to get into this one, because I think it has the potential, particularly because it's on PulseChain and some of these new dApps coming out on PulseChain are really starting to get some traction. It made me want to get in because I could see this Spark token rallying big time in the next bull market. So we'll see. Completely speculative play, but what I've done is I've gone over to the farms and I've just stuffed some money over here in the Spark Pulse farm. And of course you just couple up the LPs, which you can do all on the site. So if you've got Pulse tokens, you're gonna come over here to exchange, and you're gonna exchange for the token you want. I exchange it for Spark, so if you wanna create that LP, of course you gotta go 50-50, but you can choose from a plethora of cryptocurrencies that you can do. Then you would go to liquidity and you could pair the two up. You could also bridge from other networks, but I think that's coming soon, like the sign says. But once that comes, that could be pretty awesome too and bring a lot more people on board. But once you've done that, you can come over to the farms and deposit and get a tasty APR. And of course there's a lot of other pairs here. You've also got the Sparkler, in which you deposit Spark, you get a solid APR, you stake it for a certain amount of days, which goes all the way up to 10 years if you want to sacrifice it and get a larger bonus. And then you can harvest what it kicks out, and it kicks out LPs. So for me, I'm just creating this little flywheel. This is going, the Sparkler is going to create me the LPs. I'm going to come to the farm. I'm going to stuff the LPs into the farm. The farm is earning me Spark. I'm going to harvest the Spark. I'm going to come to the Sparkler and I'm going to deposit it into the Sparkler, which in turn will create LPs for me, which I'll put back in the farms. That's what I'm going to do for the foreseeable future. I've put about $800 in here so far. I intend to at least double that investment. Again, totally speculative play, but if this is one that ends up doing well in a bull run, then Spark could seriously take off, and this could end up being a platform that's kind of similar to like PancakeSwap. The ability to swap tokens, farm them, throw them in pools. It's obviously really well built out by a certifiable genius in AJ, so it could be really cool. The PancakeSwap of PulseChain. Now let's talk about what a lot of you guys have been wanting to hear, and that is what the heck is going on with Trip Network. Trip Network is about to change, and I don't have all the info, and I don't think there's that many people who really even understand it. But there's a couple of key points. If you are in the faucet right now, particularly if you have already claimed a lot, this is my first wallet. I've almost claimed everything. This wallet's basically dead. I am continuing to claim and build it up. I actually, with this wallet, you notice I have 5,300 tokens. I bought more while the price was, 1.5 cents or whatever it was. As these announcements started to come out, I bought some more, because what they're trying to do is make the drip token deflationary. The faucet eventually, meaning over the next probably 1 to 3 weeks, will kind of cease to exist. You won't be able to compound anymore. You're really only going to be able to claim, and you're not going to get your full 3.65. You're only going to get up to 100% back. Now let me switch wallets. So I haven't figured out the official calculation yet. So all I've been doing is just claiming. If I were you, I mean, you can do whatever you want. If I were you, the data is pretty unclear if you're going to ever be able to compound again, or how much you're going to be able to claim from what wallet. There are a couple of calculations, but as I'm running them, I'm not sure they're making 100% sense to me. So I will wait to make a video that says this is exactly what I think. For now, I'm just claiming. I'm letting my available build up, and I'm just claiming until they turn this thing off. Then what I do with that additional drip, we'll see. Might make sense to throw it into DDD and gamble, roll the dice, try to get a big lump of drip, or it might make sense to sell it or whatever. But trying to push this thing into hyper deflationary status by really changing parts of the contract, which frankly, I'm not even sure how they're changing those values to change everything if it's immutable. But if they get it done in the way they intend to get it done, then you could see a major spike in the drip price. Drip will technically cease to exist as we know it. It'll become more of a token. It won't be the same type of ROI DApp. It's going to completely change the metrics. So if you're watching this and you're like, what the heck do I do? What I'm doing is just the safest bet. I'm just claiming what's in my available and letting it sit in my wallet to try to wait for more information so I have it available if I end up wanting to sell it or hold it or use it in triple D or what have you. But moral of the story is the drip as we know it is dead. It is completely changing. Right now, using the old system, drip is basically wiped out. These changes, while drastic, might actually bring it back and we could see some serious price appreciation, and then maybe it's got more value. So we'll see how it all plays out. For me, the risk of not selling now and making a little bit of money is far outweighed by the reward of holding on and seeing what happens. So we will figure that out soon. As soon as I actually have more information, I'll give you a better update. For now, I'm just claiming out of all my wallets, and we'll see what happens. If I have an opportunity to compound more back in because of my real smaller wallets have more available, then we'll see. I would love for it to be at least like, hey, whatever my net deposit value is until this goes negative, that's what I get. But I don't know if there's any truth to that. So more on that here soon. The other one I wanted to hit really quick is actually BigWhale. I don't know how I skipped it, but my timer just went off. Let me do a little refresh, and I've been letting this one build up. Let's see how much I have, 0.445. So let me switch on the ledger, get a ledger if you don't have one, something like it. Don't be lazy, don't be complacent. You have to protect your crypto assets. This one's been treating me really well. So far, BigWhale has been one of the best protocols for me over the last month. So far, really solid. I'm about to claim out, 0.445, which is 91.86. So I'll make a quick note of that and add it to my tracker. They are coming out with some new stuff. I forgot exactly what it was. I'd have to look back through my notes, but there is a little bit of details that I want to share with you guys. So what I'll probably do is I'll just do a standalone video talking about BigWhale. Like I said, it's been a good performer for me, so why not highlight it? Last but not least, let's call out Spritz. All you Canadians, Spritz is now available in Canada. So if you've been sitting on the sidelines and haven't used it, there'll be a link below. Check it out, get set up. Spritz is by far my favorite off-ramp that has the benefit of also being a bill pay service. So it's the absolute best. I love it. You guys should check it out. Anyway, I will have more videos this week. I'm actually going to try to jump on midday tomorrow with Kirk and talk about his new project. I won't mention what it is, but it is not a DeFi project. It's a software-based service of something that he built that is super cool, but there is an opportunity to invest in that. And full disclosure, I already have. When he pitched me the idea, I'm like, I'm in. This seems like it could be really solid. So I wanted to have him on to be able to explain all the details better than me trying to do it. So tomorrow sometime, if we can lock down a time, I'll do an AMA with him and he can talk about this new project. But again, super awesome. It's a real world business and he's just utilizing DeFi to come on as an investor, real similar to what we did with Foodtopian. So that's it, guys. Thanks for tuning in. More videos this week. I'm going to try to get back to being more consistent and hopefully we've got some real good ones coming up. So anyway, thank you guys for your time. Happy investing.